Welcome to The Digital Chair by Salon Monster, the podcast for indie beauty pros and salon owners who'd rather be themselves than follow the rules. I'm your host, Liam, and this week we'll be talking with Nikii Beis at Elevated Salon about blending hourly, commission, and rental to boost flexibility and retention. Okay, fantastic. Nikii, thank you for joining me. Would you like to tell me just a little bit about who you are and what you do?
All right, so I'm Nikii Beis. I live in Squamish, BC, and I am owner and stylist at Elevated Studio here.
Awesome. We love Elevated Studio. I was going to start at the beginning of you, but like we've just said Elevated, we might as well. Where are you located?
So Squamish, BC, the northern end of Squamish.
Yep. Yeah. Awesome. And how long have you been open?
Since July 17th of 2024.
Okay. That's brand new, relatively. How's it feeling?
It's good. It's finally starting to settle down a little bit. It was hectic at first. There was definitely days where I was like, what am I doing right now?
Yes.
But after the holiday rush and everything, got a little nice relaxing break and feeling.
Oh, that's nice. You took a break.
Yeah, I took a break. I know.
It's amazing.
A whole 11 days away from the salon. It was great.
Whew. Whew.
Yeah.
How many chairs are there?
There are 4 chairs.
Okay.
Yeah.
All full?
They are all full most days. Some 5 there's 5 stylists of us, including myself. And so some of the girls only work 2 days, some of them work 4 days. Just depends on what they're feeling and how many clients they have. So
Absolutely. I love it. So where did you get your start in the industry?
Okay, so I'm originally from Mississauga, Ontario.
Okay.
And I was doing my friend's hair in her bathroom. I just did like highlights of my friend's hair when I was like 16 years old. I had no idea what I was doing, but I was like, I'm going to try this. And it actually turned out pretty good. Like, I'm not going to lie. I look back at it. I'm like, that was so fun. But my friend's mom went to this super high-end salon in Toronto called Exit Salon. Okay. And her stylist is Rob, the owner there. Okay. And he was like, hey, who did your highlights? Probably like, oh my God, those look terrible. And she said like, oh, like my friend did them. Anyways, long story short, he saw some sort of potential that I didn't know I had. And he had asked me to come and apprentice under him. So I started going into Toronto every day and started learning he was a Redken color technician. I basically like owe him my career, I would say. He definitely got me started, got me interested in it properly. And it was a great little start to hair.
I love that. I love that. I know I feel like you've got the people that say finished or didn't finish high school and didn't know what to do. And so thought it would be easy or something like that. And then you've got you and I, because I left home at 17. I dropped out of high school and I was at the bar of a restaurant. Maybe I was 18 at that point, possibly 19. And I needed a haircut and I wanted to quit the job I was at. I heard somebody mention a salon I knew of and I went and chatted him up at the bar and he offered to give me a free haircut the next day. I said, why are you trying to get a free haircut at a bar? I said, I want to go looking for a job. And he said, we take one apprentice on every 2 years and ours is done in 2 weeks. Are you interested? So it's that same, like, that's lucky.
Yeah. Just happened to be in the right place at the right time.
I liked fashion, but like hair, I'd never held a brush in my life. I didn't know what I was doing. It was like the error part of trial and error was strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's definitely a lot of mistakes that happened.
Mm-hmm. So did you do an actual apprenticeship?
So I started my apprenticeship with him.
Yep.
And he actually told me, hey, I think it's a right time for you to go to school.
Okay.
School. And I was kind of surprised because he had always been like, oh, like, don't worry about hair school. They just build bad habits, blah, 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 which I was kind of like, I mean, there are some bad habits, don't get me wrong, but I still think it's important. But he sent me to school. And then when I finished and went to return, he was like, look, I kind of knew I was like losing my salon. So I'm going to send you with 2 of the other people who work here and they're opening up a salon. And then it kind of just kept going from there. I definitely butt heads with one of the salon owners at the new
Hmm.
salon I went to. So it was a
Hmm.
shorter lived experience there. I learned a ton, but it was,
Yes.
in the end of it, it was just like I would go home crying at night, which
Yeah.
unfortunately is actually
Yeah.
like it's part of our industry. I think it's the toxic part of our industry.
Yes.
However, it is a part of our industry that I learned quickly. I actually wasn't interested. I don't care what kind of education I was going to get. I wasn't interested in it anymore. So,
Good for you.
yeah,
Most of us, I shouldn't speak on behalf. Many of us, I think, are a combination of too young along with too ignorant to know what you shouldn't put up with. And so the stories I hear, especially depending on how long you've been in the industry, I feel like the industry is better than it was when I started 25 years ago in that way. I don't feel like a new person in the industry is vastly more likely to understand, but it does seem like more people know it's not okay to treat you a certain way. I worked with someone, I won't say who and I won't say where they started, but they were assisting at the salon they apprenticed at, and they were holding a bleach bowl for their stylist that was doing color. And I think it was 10 or 11 p.m. at night, and they yawned, and the stylist painted bleach on their tongue while their mouth was open and said, "That'll teach you to yawn while you're assisting me." And she didn't do anything about it. She just sort of took it. And I don't think that would be as likely. So you are right, there is a toxic part of the industry.
I will say like there's like I've been doing hair for like 16 years now, right? So
Yep.
it was a different time. Not that
Yeah.
it's acceptable, but it was a different time. And I feel like it actually made me, not saying I'm a great salon owner or anything, but I do think
No.
that it makes me a better mentor because right now, like I look at like my junior stylist, my little baby stylist, and like I'm trying to protect her from
Yeah.
everything possible. Like I'm like, hey, if you don't like something, like I want you to tell me. Like if I come off the wrong way at all, like
Yeah.
please do tell me. And I think it's important. Like I feel like more salon owners need to understand like you cannot create a toxic work environment because they will not thrive and then they will
Yeah.
not grow and yeah, we're setting them up for failure. So it's a
And
hard
that,
industry as is. Like clients are hard enough as is. We don't need the mentors
yes,
and the owners being the same way. So
you're already going to cry at
yeah.
the best of
Yeah.
times. Like you're going to go home in tears because you're going to take something someone said personal. Or, when you start, I'm sure it was the same for you. I don't have nearly as much of a problem if someone doesn't come back again at this point.
Yes.
Okay, cool, whatever. We weren't the right fit. But at the time, it was like, I
Yeah.
should go home and commit seppuku. Obviously, I am a terrible person on every level and deserve something bad to happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
No, I
I,
agree.
it's already going to be difficult enough as it is at the best of times. Well, that's lucky that they have you.
Yeah.
And then they'll all leave at once,
Yeah.
right? You
100%.
you will always, like, every 5 years, the entire staff will walk out the door at once. Um,
I'm definitely prepared for it. I know it'll happen. Yeah.
well, yeah, but ideally, if you're treating people right, you won't get the total walkout.
Yes. Yeah.
You might get the version where one person goes off and does their own thing, which I've always felt is supposed to happen to a degree, especially with young staff. Like, I'm going to mentor you, and then you're supposed to leave home.
Yeah.
It's still hard, and it still feels personal, but the goal is to create a productive member of our industry. To me,
So
what do I?
something I'm trying out, and I'm not sure if it's the right way to go. It's just, I mean, obviously it's my first time having a salon. So something that I'm giving a go to this time around is I'm doing a salon that's like I have my hourly baby stylist, and then I'm going to have my commission stylist, and then I have chair renters.
Yeah.
So I'm offering more than just that whole hey, you're on hourly or commission.
Mm-hmm.
Um, in the hopes that instead of you leaving and going to a better opportunity because you don't want to be on hourly or commission anymore, maybe we can switch you over to chair rental when it becomes
Yeah.
appropriate time for you. Like you've filled up all your days, you feel like you could make more on your own, you feel like you could handle ordering all your own products and making sure everything's in here on time, and then
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that for me was kind of my way of being like, this way I can kind of take on different levels of stylists, different experience levels, and everyone can kind of help each other and grow that way. And yeah, hopefully that was the
I think
right.
that's amazing. Where I got my start was like that. It
Yeah.
was mostly, I think, what was it? It was 12 chairs, 13 stylists, and an assistant slash apprentice at all times. And I, for 2 years, was the assistant slash apprentice. And yeah, okay, I was the assistant slash apprentice. And you started on the floor as a, they didn't really say junior stylist, but you started as on the floor as a new stylist, and you worked your way into commission, whether your minimum wage or commission, whichever was higher is what you got. And then when you were ready, when you felt like you wanted to pay chair rental, you just switched to chair rental. So that way, like you said, there's a place for you to grow into. Not everybody's going to be that person. Not everybody wants to. And then a bunch of people will go independent and stop. And then some of us, and I'm guessing like you and I, can't help ourselves and we'll have to keep doing the next thing.
Yeah. I always told myself I was going to open a salon. So this is kind of just,
Yeah.
okay, well, I've done everything else and I feel like I've succeeded in
Yeah.
everything else. So
Do you find I had a tendency to, early on I kept my mouth shut. And then not that long after that, I started to voice my opinion. I'm not great at keeping my opinion to myself. And I think I wanted to be independent at a certain point because I wanted to, if I'm going to spend all this time talking about what I think would be a better idea, at a certain point I needed to prove to myself that it was a better idea and not just say it. I don't know if you felt like you wanted to see if your idea was going to work or not, or you just wanted to control your environment.
probably a little bit of both. Like I loved the salon that I was at beforehand. Like it was awesome. Chair renting and everything. It was just kind of that point where I was like, I think I got to try this. I told myself in my 30s I would give it a go. So I was like, you know what? I'll give it a try. I'll see how it goes. And like another part of it was like control your environment, right? Like I would like certain things and I wanted to try different things. And I feel like when you're in somebody else's space, there's only so much that you can do that feels appropriate. And anything past that, like I feel like it's too much to ask, too much to do
Yes.
it. So yeah, it was more so like seeing out something that I always had wanted.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just the next step.
So you decided to open a salon. It's really hard to do. It takes a long time from inception. From the point that you decided you were doing it, how long did it take until you were open, let's say?
Well, I had kind of said to myself, so I moved out to BC about 6 years ago now.
Okay.
And I had said to myself, oh, like I'll give it like a year or two and then I'll probably open a salon. COVID happened. And
Yeah.
so I was like, wow, this is probably the worst thing that could have happened at this point. And so I told myself, okay, I'll look back at it a few years from now, whatever. And then things just got easy. Like I loved the salon that I was at. Everything was easy. Everything was pretty flawless. Owner was great. And so I just got comfortable. And then one day I was like, no, I told myself I wasn't going to be comfy. What am I doing? So I started looking for places to lease. And I actually found this place very quickly because everything I had looked online, I was just like, yeah, not interested, not interested.
Mm-hmm.
I came to see this place and I was like, oh, it's too big. Like I kind of just wanted a little studio for myself. And then I started thinking about it. I'm like, you know what? Actually, it wouldn't be a bad thing to have stylists. And it wouldn't be a bad thing for me to have somebody I can mentor. And yeah, I just kind of started thinking about it. I'm like, it's just a little under 1,000 square feet. So it seemed like it was going to be way too much. And now in hindsight,
Right.
I'm like, I could have went bigger than this. Like, I mean, I have great stylists, but at the same time, like I have, like everything has worked out the way it has because of the opportunity I took and how it went. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Was it empty when you saw it the first time? Like a totally empty?
Empty, totally empty.
Yeah.
Actually, the walls that are around me right now didn't exist.
Right.
It was a concrete slab. My unit actually was like one big unit that was then split in half. So there's
Yep.
101 and 100 of our
Yep.
units. And it was always originally 101, and then it became 100 and 101. We built a wall. We did all the electrical, the plumbing, all that kind of stuff together. Like we worked at it together, and yeah, it was a lot of work. Like I leased this place in December, like beginning of December 2024. Everything was signed and done and decided on. And then like we got started, I think we got our building contract in like mid-January or something. And then we just kind of got started. And after every single delay that could have possibly happened, we opened in July. So
Yeah.
we're hoping for like March or April, which is probably like a unrealistic goal. But
It's a little hopeful. That's okay. It's okay to hope.
But I thought for sure like June would be the latest that we would open. And then I was like beginning of June, and I'm like, I don't have a place to work as of April 1st, because I told my previous owner I would be out for sure. I'm sure she would have found me a space, but if she had leased to somebody else or something else had happened, then I wouldn't have had a spot. So it's kind of like, let's go.
Yeah. It's interesting when you see a space empty, because you were saying you saw it and you thought it's too big.
Yeah.
It's so different to see it empty. You imagine it's larger than it is, like 1,000 square feet, big, empty. Especially if it's a big rectangle and empty. That's a big space. But the minute you put walls and things, it shrinks quite quickly. You get to that point where you're like, oh, wait, how many chairs can I fit in here?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not a lot of space. How do I? Yeah. It can be sneaky.
Originally had wanted 3 hair sinks in here, and then I started looking at it and I was like, people are going to be like touching elbows, and like my whole thing was I want it to be spacious, because I want it to be like more of a luxe salon where you end up not being right next to your neighbor. You can have a private conversation and not worry about somebody listening in. So the 4 chairs, I mean, we could probably fit 5 or 6 in here.
Yeah.
Not really the vibe that we're going for, though.
No.
So, yeah, but it's actually kind of cool, because like for Vancouver Coastal Health, I had to create like my floor plan and have like, this is going to go here and that's going to go there. And I did so many little iterations. But now when you look at my floor plan that I submitted to VCH versus what you actually walk into, it's almost identical. Like it's actually crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, it's actually crazy, like how much thought had went into it. Like I drove myself a little bit crazy being like, oh, I have to figure this out. And now that we look at it, the only thing that changed was the color bar, which is where like I wanted it to be big enough so that my chair renters and my commission stylists could have like their own cubbies. So because of course chair renters supply their own supplies, right?
Yep.
So I wanted to make sure that everything could fit and that there would be enough spaces for everyone. However, when I put it in, I was like, oh my God, this thing is massive. So we actually cut it down to smaller. And that's the only thing that we changed in the whole plan. Everything else went exactly how we had planned it. So
that's really impressive and super lucky. That's great.
Yeah, it was good.
I love it. Okay, so if we went back in time when you were just about to start your apprenticeship, what would you tell yourself? What would you tell a young you?
The first 8 years of your career are not going to make you that much money. And then you'll make money.
Right.
But, I think that that's something that like we need not to normalize necessarily, but we need to kind of explain to stylists. It's like when you are learning, when you are growing, you're not making much money, and you have to accept that. And like luckily I was in a financial position where I could not be as concerned, and that's not always the case, right? But I didn't realize how little of money you made at the beginning. And so I was always like, oh my God, am I going to make money in this? Am I going to make money? Like, what's happening? And I would tell myself that. You will make money at one point. And I do remember the second salon I went to work at, where I was saying I butt heads with one of the stylists, but not the other, or one of the owners. So the other owner, I remember she sat me down one day and she's like, I just want you to know, like, you can make 6 figures being a hairdresser. It takes time. Takes a lot of practice, but you have the skill and you'll get there at one point. So she's like, just don't give up. And I think that that kind of always stood out to me. And that was always something that kind of, yeah, it hit pretty hard. And
Yeah.
so I think even one of the stylists that I brought on, I had kind of said like, hey, like, if you do go to chair rental, like you do have potential to make quite a bit more than you would think.
Yeah, I made pennies for a really long time.
Yeah.
It also took me a while. So once I left where I did my apprenticeship, I went right to chair rental about 4 years in, give or take.
Only 4 years in, eh?
Yeah. It was the only,
Yeah.
at the time, it was the only way out that I saw.
I think that's amazing, by the way. I'm not saying that in like a bad way.
No, no, no.
I think that's amazing that you felt comfortable and that you were.
Well, I'm not going to say I felt comfortable. I think I was so uncomfortable at the time that there wasn't anything that was going to be more uncomfortable. I already didn't make money, right? I already
Yeah.
made such a small of money, and I had lived with roommates from day one. My rent was relatively cheap. So you know, I was in a good position in that way. But it just kind of had to happen. But when I did it, I know for myself, and I don't know, it sounds like it was a different place where you were. I struggled a little bit with that sort of high school mentality of I'm not busy because of other people. I'm not busy because of externalities. And
Yeah.
it took me, I would say, maybe 2 years almost of chair renting before I realized I had to make the choice to hustle
Yeah.
and to show up, to not do that thing where I glide in exactly the time my client gets there or 2 minutes after, and moving slow and blaming others. And did you have a moment, or did you find from early on you got that? Like, did you have a moment where you understood when that person said you can make money, that hustling was going to be the thing you needed to do?
I think that when I moved out to BC, I just was like, oh, I have to move. I have to start making money. Like
Yeah.
it needs to happen. And so when I moved out here, I was commissioned for a little bit while I was like building a clientele. And then I slowly started to see like, okay, like chair rental is going to make me more money as long as I hustle. And
Right.
so I do feel like that mentality definitely kicked in when I was just like, okay, I'm a chair renter now. I'm paying by the day. That means if I
Yeah.
have to go in and I have to work a 12-hour day to make sure that I'm making enough money, I'm going to do it. And slowly that ended up being that like aha thing for me where it was like, yeah, I don't walk in right as the client comes in. Like, no, I'm there half an hour before. I'm setting up, I'm getting ready, I'm making sure that I have caffeinated myself because I'm not the best human if I don't have caffeine in me.
Yeah.
And I just like, yeah, you change. I think there's like this point where you just realize, okay, like it is me and I'm the reason I'm not making money. And you can make money doing hair. You just have to actually be pushing and you have to be wanting it. Like you have
Yeah.
to want it. If you don't
Yeah.
want it, you're never going to make money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I remember the day I made the decision. And so I started showing up to work 90 minutes early. I went to the cafe across as well. It might have something to do with I've just come on the other side of a multiple year journey of finally coming to terms with the fact that I have ADHD, and I didn't want to come to terms with that fact, and I fought it for a long time. But what's been interesting coming on the other side of it is starting to realize which things are just how your brain works. So I know a lot of people have struggle with time management, and I was thinking, well, why don't I struggle with time management? And that's not really true. I realized I had two modes of time, either on time exactly to a little bit late or the day before. Like those are the choices I had.
Yeah.
So I decided I was going to try and show up to work 90 minutes early, go across the street and have a breakfast sandwich and a coffee, chat with the owner there, get in the headspace that I needed to do, walk into the salon an hour beforehand, set up as my chef friends call it, my mise en place, get all set up. And so then I have, from my setup to when my guest arrives, I have like 30 minutes to just be in the space and not feel rushed and plan what I might need to plan for each person that's coming in that day. And from that moment on that I did that, I started making more money immediately.
Yeah.
I think sometimes some of it has to do with your guests know if you want to be there or not. Like, people can tell if you don't want to be there, so they tend to be drawn and attracted to a person who's having a great time and wants to be there and shows up, and the person who's like wah wah all day long.
I also think that there's like a point where you have to realize, like, if I don't have fun being there, my client's going to see that. They're not going to have fun either. Like,
Yeah,
they don't want to come in when you're just like, oh, like, yeah, I guess I have to be at work. Your job should be fun. Like,
yeah,
hairdressing is so much fun. I enjoy it, like, every single day. Every client
me,
that comes in, okay, obviously there's like one or two here and there.
yes, but
There's going to be. But it is so rewarding to like listen to people say, hey, like, this happened in my life, and like, oh, like, you like follow people's journeys. Like, sometimes it's unfortunate things, like a client will get cancer or something, and you'll be
yeah,
following that journey. But other times it's like, hey, I'm going to school for this, hey, I went to school for this, hey, I got the job doing this, and then, hey, I finally got my dream job. Like, it's so rewarding to like take people's energy on, and then you
yeah,
feel, I don't know, you show your clients like, hey, I'm really excited to be here, and I'm really excited to hear everything that you have to say. But you have to be in that mindset, like, hey, I want to listen to this.
yes,
If you don't want that, then you shouldn't be a hairdresser, because a big part of it is taking on your client's energy and
yeah,
working with it, not just being like, oh, I'm gonna just be blah today.
yeah.
So
It's such an intimate job.
yeah.
I mean, you're touching people immediately. So you get closer quickly because of that, or theoretically. Um, yeah, even the sad journeys, like you were talking about, a client gets cancer. Even those journeys are just as special to be brought along with someone, like to be a part of ups and downs. I feel like I've gone through wild things with people that just sit in my chair every 6 to 12 weeks.
Yeah.
I feel a part of families that I'm not a part of.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm best friends with people that I've spent 10 minutes with outside of the salon total.
totally.
I feel really, we're lucky to get to do it, depending on who you are, obviously. I don't think everybody feels lucky to do it.
Yeah. I will also say I've actually found a lot of like my good friends through work as well. Cause like you sit with clients for like 2, 3 hours, and it's like
Yeah.
you have like a free interview for like a best friend. Like, it's
Yes.
actually pretty cool. And I used to think like, no, there has to be this line with clients where like, oh, like, they're clients, they're not friends. But it's like, no, you can kind of just be friends with all your clients, and you
Yeah.
can have more of a personal relationship. And if people want to like take that personal relationship outside of the salon, if you're comfy with it, then do it. You might find somebody who you're like, oh, this is actually like, I think this person might be my new best friend. So
Yeah.
you never know, right? And I feel like when I moved to a new town, actually, I met a lot of people through work and
Yeah.
created like a pretty awesome community because of that. So
I completely agree.
something to remember as well.
Yeah. Um, did you have any mentors early on? I mean, I know you talked about that first hairdresser who said that you should come. And so obviously that's a mentor.
Yeah, I would say Rob was definitely like he stood out. He was patient. I was 17 years old. Like, I was a little shit, for a lack of better words.
Hmm.
I like I just remember he was trying so hard to teach me everything, and like I intook as much as I could, but I was still a 17-year-old kid.
Yeah.
So he did such a good job. And then when I moved on with like the next um, two people that I worked with, as I said, like I butted heads with the one guy
Hmm.
definitely, but he still taught me a ton. Like he taught me tons with cutting, and then the lady who owned the salon as well, she taught me a ton with like coloring and just giving me like the confidence to feel comfortable as a hairdresser. Like, as I said, she was actually the one who mentioned to me, like, you can be a 6-figure stylist. You just need to stay in it and you need to work at it. That was pretty good mentorship in my opinion. Like I think all three of them did a great job, even though I would never go back to said salon. I do think.
One thing has nothing to do with the other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I do think that they did a great job, like helping me mold into the person that I am today. Everything else that I went on from there, I can't say I had a good time at any of the other salons I worked at.
Yeah.
I went independent pretty quick after those, and I started working at a little studio that was actually a tanning salon. Funny enough,
Oh,
the owner
wow.
was awesome. It was a tanning salon. I was the only hairdresser there, and it was good. I had my own little room, and then we thought we were moving somewhere else, so I like quit there, and then it turned out we didn't end up moving somewhere else. So I started working from home, and then
Okay.
moved out to BC. So pretty independent after that.
I love it. I feel like access to mentorships is quite different now because you said you've been doing it 16 years.
Yeah.
So that would be a year maybe before Instagram even came into existence, and several years before it was a tool that was used consistently by the industry.
Yes.
If somebody were looking for, like, what would you say to somebody now who is coming up in the industry and sort of wanted mentorship?
I think like courses are so important, but also just going on Instagram and watching how somebody does something. There is so much free education online. You can pay for course X, Y, and Z and like learn a ton, but you can also learn a ton. Like as long as you have those basics, which is where schooling comes into hand and everything, right? Doing an apprenticeship at a salon. As long as you have those basics, like Instagram teaches you so much. And like I still go to many courses. I do many courses online. Blonde Chronicles is actually one of like my favorite like go-tos with my junior stylist to be like, hey, go watch this, go check it out. I think she does like a great job with that, like the platform and everything. But I do think that you can just learn things by watching people. It's like, oh, like look how she just put that foil in. Like, I wonder if I try doing that next time. So there's a lot of times where I'm like, I'm just going to give that a go. And either works or it doesn't work and I never do it again.
Yep. I still, 25 years in, get my mind blown.
Yeah.
On the regular, where you're like, that's an option?
Yeah.
How did I not know you could do that?
100%.
What do you mean your foil doesn't slip? How did you, what?
Yeah. I also think there's something to be said. You are never going to be the best hairdresser.
No.
You will always learn something from every single person that you're around. I can learn something from my junior stylist. I can learn something from any of the girls who work here. It doesn't matter your skill level. You might know something that somebody else doesn't know. So for me, it's like important to remember, don't discredit anyone ever. You're not better than anyone else. You are never going to be the best if you are not open-minded. And if you're open-minded, you'll take in so much knowledge and that'll help you be a better stylist.
Yeah. Love it. I think the Buddhists call that beginner's mind.
Yeah.
Approach everything as if you know nothing and you will learn everything.
Yeah.
I also found, I don't know if you found the same thing. I found at a certain point, I started to realize the most successful hairdressers that I knew weren't necessarily the best hairdressers I knew. And it didn't seem like skill level had a direct correlation with financial success.
Yeah.
Did you find anything similar?
Yeah, kind of. I definitely feel like there's, I have to be careful how I say this. I definitely think that there's like a little bit of like a God mentality with a lot of stylists. And
yes.
I think that being humble is a lot better of like an approach, and being humble might actually help you make more money and help you just keep clients more.
Yeah.
If you're not humble at least a little bit, I think that people will start to see through that fairly quickly. And yeah, I do think that there's a lot of stylists who do have that God mentality, and we'll see how it goes. Like, I mean, Instagram's an amazing tool. Sometimes it's not necessarily the best tool for the client to find stylists, because they're looking for like who thinks that they're the best, not who's actually the best. So there's goods and bads to that.
Yes. Instagram definitely has, I find most hairdressers that are really active on social are probably speaking to other hairdressers more than they're speaking
Yeah.
to prospective clients.
Yeah.
Like it tends to be a bit of a circle of showing off and trying to impress each other as opposed to, hey, here's the experience you're going to have when you come in
Yeah.
to see
Yeah.
me. You're going to feel
I
like this when
agree.
you arrive
Yeah.
and this when you leave,
Yeah.
which like for me is my goal. I don't really care what it is we're doing on any given day as
Yeah.
long as you leave happier than when you arrived.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so education, you talked about that.
Yeah.
You're obviously a fan of continuing education. Keep going.
Always continued education. I would say that that's something that you should be doing like every few months, do a course, whether it be just, okay, I'm going to scroll on Instagram and follow like my favorite person who, like, I like her techniques. Let me just go and refresh on everything. That's fine too. That's education.
Yep.
You don't necessarily need to spend a ton of money on education. You don't need to go and buy that $1,100 course for blonding. You can learn a lot outside of a course where, yeah, there's a lot of courses that I find like I'm like, yeah, like I think that that would be awesome. Do I think that it would give me $1,100 worth of education, or can I put that $1,100 elsewhere? I find that's something that I struggle with a little bit. So sometimes I will not do a course based off of price. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I know I struggled early on.
like
Pardon me?
I'm not saying that they're not worth it. I'm not.
No.
Great. I just think that money can be put better elsewhere.
Well, it depends how much money you have. I mean, if all you have is $1,100, I'm not sure that course is the thing to spend it on. I also find it depends on how you learn. I didn't do well when there were only in-person courses where like day one was look and learn and day two was hands-on.
Yeah.
For me, I needed to see a thing 1,000 times in a row.
Yeah, sorry.
And that's okay. Once I'd seen something 1,000 times in a row, and then I replicated it 1,000 times, I was good. So I found I'd usually get one or two things out of a course, but I struggled with retaining 3 straight hours of showing me how to do something.
Yeah.
I'd only be able to remember a bit of it. Whereas now I find with online stuff, and it's not the same for everyone. Some people really like hands-on. I don't like doing it immediately after I watched it unless it's, now it's a little different. It's a little easier for me to take a thing I saw briefly and go and put part of it to work. But yeah.
I also think that there's like this thing where if you have like a pretty solid base, you can easily intake information, right?
Yeah.
So like where I am at my, like in my career now, it's like, okay, yeah, I can take in like, oh, I saw this thing on Instagram. Let me try it. I wouldn't have been able to do that 5, 8 years ago, whatever,
No.
right? Like it's how strong is your base? And then from there, your education will depend on that, right? If you take a junior stylist and you send them to that $1,100 course, they might not intake that information because they don't have the base of that, right? So it courses are so relative to where you're at in your career and what you need to learn. So that's also a big part of continued education for me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I do, like, I love it. I encourage it. I think that it needs to be based off of what you actually need and what your base is.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to pivot a little bit.
Yeah.
In terms of what I do.
Yeah.
The digital side of technology, so separate from just doing hair itself. At what point did you start using digital tools of any sort, whether it be like Salon Monster for online booking or just tracking things? At what point has it been the whole time in your career, or did it happen at a certain point?
When I went like independent back in Ontario, I had MindBody for a little bit, which is very expensive. Like not necessarily what I needed for what I...
It was kind of the first at a certain point, but it wasn't really I know I tried it early on. It wasn't really built for our industry.
No, it was definitely built for more like yoga and RMT and like all those kind of things.
Yeah.
If honestly, if Salon Monster had been there at that point, I would have given that a go.
Awesome.
Yeah, I went with Vigaro at the old salon. That's just what we had,
Yeah.
and it worked pretty good. I do like the online booking portion of it, but
Yep.
there's times where I'll see like one of my regulars book in, and I'm like, "You just booked in for a root touch up. Like, you need highlights, girl. What are you doing?"
Yes. Yes.
So
You can't book for the amount of time you want to be here for. That's not.
yeah, or the amount of
Yes.
money that you want to spend.
Yes.
I promise
Exactly.
you the difference.
Yeah. So how did you find digital tools? How did digital tools help you the most? What was the aspect of digital tools that helped you the most?
Well, I mean, like, there's like in terms of like online education and stuff,
Or just any digital, like, did you find, even with like Salon software, did you find the having online booking was the thing that did it for you? Did you find having automated reminders the thing? Did you find tracking of client information? Like, what are the things within digital tools you found effective for you?
I mean, tracking your formulas and stuff like that through an app is so much easier. Like, if I can just pop open a client's profile and be like, oh, cool, like last time we did this and she said that it was too warm, then this time we'll do this instead. Having clients be able to go online and book themselves is fantastic. And I do encourage it most of the time, but I do also ask my clients to pre-book before they leave. And I do like the feature of rebook or checkout. I think that that's awesome. Like, I think that that's been done very well.
The pop-up message that comes in there. Yeah.
Automated reminders are the best thing. Like, you cannot tell me that you're missing your appointment because you forgot. Sorry, you've got however many messages. You need to show up.
Yes.
So, yeah, it's good things. And then enforcing like a cancellation policy. I love having like the credit cards on file. I rarely enforce it. However, that being said, when I have to, I will.
Yep.
So, yeah.
I'm a big fan of a structured cancellation policy to leave little room.
Yeah.
I know for myself, I require 24 hours notice for every hour length of appointment time. So like if you have a 3-hour appointment, you got to tell me 3 days in advance. I have a cancellation list, but I can't always fill 3 hours or 4 hours tomorrow. Yeah. Like I might be able to the day after or the day after that, but you know, I can fill an hour tomorrow probably, but 3 hours might be tough.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's actually a really good idea per hour. It's not necessarily a bad idea. Maybe I'll give that a go.
Yeah.
Like, as I said, I rarely enforce it. It's one of those things, right? Like, I had a client yesterday who was like, hey, is there any way I can push tomorrow's appointment, which is today, obviously, but tomorrow's appointment to early April? And I was like, no, because I needed 48 hours notice. I'm giving you a 3-hour appointment, right?
Yeah.
She was totally cool about it. She's like, okay, I'll show up if I have to. And I was like, look, I'll try to fill it. If I can fill it, don't worry about it. We'll move you to April. And I found someone to fill it, luckily. But I was like, oh God.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big appointment, right? So you're like, it's a Wednesday morning. How am I going to fill a Wednesday morning for a 3-hour appointment?
Exactly.
So it happens sometimes, but I won't charge you if I can fill it. But if I can't fill it, then
that's a nice way of going about it too.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm a huge, when I do walkthroughs with new Salon Monster users, particularly people that are going independent for the first time, going into booth rental and salon suite rental, I usually sort of pivot away from the spiel where I show them how to use Salon Monster and shift towards, by the way, do you have a cancellation policy? And do you know how to enforce it? And do you know how to use these? I know within Salon Monster's booking settings, one of the things that I use for my cancellation policy is I don't let clients cancel or move their own appointment within 72 hours of the appointment. So if they try to cancel it 2 days out, it'll say you can't, you have to get in touch with me. So I can say, well, the reason is you can't. I mean, you can. I say to everyone, especially no-shows who I charge 100% for, I always say the same thing to them because they always offer to pay right away. I say, you can pay me to watch Netflix in my free time as often as you like. It is not a problem. Don't feel bad. If you pay me for it, feel no guilt. I just sat back and got other stuff done if you're paying for it. I don't care one way or another. Although I prefer to be doing hair. are there any other, so when it comes to those types of structures, like telling, so you get, you know, a junior stylist, do you talk to them about that side of the business, about cancellation policies, about
Yeah, like slowly over time, right? Don't want
yeah,
to throw too many things in there at once, but
yeah,
yeah, definitely let them know over time how they have to go about dealing with all of that. So
love it,
yeah, try to
love
teach
it.
like the little basic things. I mean, she's my first junior stylist. Like I've never had another junior stylist, so I can't say from lots of
Fair
experience.
enough. Nothing to
But
compare it to.
yeah,
What have you, you know, what are one or two things, if you're speaking to somebody that's about to open their own shop like you and
yeah.
they're about to bring on a junior stylist, what are one or two of the things you've kind of learned, either, you know, things to do or things not to do, both of which are equally important?
I guess if you're bringing on a new stylist, make sure they actually want it. I
Yeah.
feel like my junior stylist wants it, so that's awesome. I can't even call her junior stylist. She's like older than me, but my baby stylist,
Yep.
she definitely wants it. So it was like more so trying to find ways. Sorry, trying to find ways to encourage her to want it even more. So like we talked about that, we figured out more things, and that was super helpful. But yeah, finding that, and then I don't know if they don't want to, just don't bother.
Yeah.
You
It's
can't
too
teach
hard.
who doesn't want to be taught. Like if they don't want
Yeah.
to be taught, they're never going to learn. They're never going to succeed. So
They just won't, I don't think you're going to last. It's not
yeah,
easy to do this,
no, it's
and
not.
it will drain you a bunch of the time, especially early on. And if you don't want it, I have a friend who rents my chair the days I'm not doing hair.
Yeah,
And they've only been doing hair for maybe 18 months total.
yeah,
Um, they were already in their 30s. It helps when they're,
yeah,
you know, a 17-year-old and an adult human are very different people to deal with as far as like teaching how you have to work. And one of the things I noticed, I talked to Britt early on about this, and I've done an interview and we've discussed her methodologies that she's used. She's a hustler, like a hustler. And so she works 2 days a week on commission at a barber shop, but rents a chair 3 days a week.
yeah,
Um, and she figured out how to get busy. She postered, she handed out cards, QR codes,
yeah, yeah,
social media. She boosted posts. She would post looking for hair models and boosted those posts. It's so important to be able to hustle. So it's great that you have someone
yeah.
that's
Yeah, I think
hustling.
like also like you want to encourage them to do that too, right? Like there is
Yeah.
like I'll sit there and be like, hey, like I'm paying you right now, but go and post on
Yes.
social media. Like go
That's,
do a post, go get yourself some extra followers, like whatever ends up working, right? There's yeah, you just want to encourage them. You want to tell them about all the little things that you didn't like and that you like, and I don't know. It's a
yeah.
lot of it is just like tell your junior stylist about the bad things. Tell them about
Yes.
the good things. Don't just like yeah, don't just expect them to just succeed right away. Like they need
No.
to know everything to be able to succeed. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I love it.
yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for doing this.
No worries. Thank you for having me.
Where can people find you on the internets?
At elevatedstudio.ca is our Instagram page for the
Nice.
salon. It's mostly my work, but also the other girls are all on there as well. We tend to collaborate quite often there. And yeah, elevatedstudio.ca.
I love it. I'm going to try and find some time to come out there so we can actually do a feature of the salon. I want to video it and see it in person. So I'm really excited to make time one of these days.
That'd be awesome. I've seen your space, so
Yes, you have. It's true. Yep. I'm coming.
yeah,
Well, thanks a ton for doing this.
yes,
Appreciate it.
anytime.
Yeah.